So hello, welcome back to these Q&As with the mentors from Lidr'S. Today we have the pleasure to speak with Michelle Kaiser.
Thank you, Álvaro. Really appreciate it again. Great to connect to you.
Thank you to you for your time. So Michelle is a recognized leadership coach and she partners with tech leaders to achieve a high performance in sales, but also in their teams and the individuals in their teams. And in her role, he has supported all the aspects of HR in global tech companies, from startups like WeFox recently to really Fortune 500 companies like PayPal. And she led the transformational cultural change and scaling and growing companies and creating these values-based organizations that we are really proud to have here in Lidr'S. So let's start with the questions. And the first one, always the same. Which is your favorite content and why?
So my favorite content is definitely books. And my favorite book is The Alchemist. So I don't know if you've read The Alchemist, but it's amazing. It is a life-changing book. It is just one of those books that you cannot put down. Once you start reading it, you need to read the next page and the next page to find out really what's going on through the story. It's about life, basically. It's about life. It's about learning to trust. It is about having lessons along the path and learning from those lessons. And really, ultimately, it's just becoming the best version of yourself that you can be. And it's such a wonderful book. I would really recommend it to everybody to read it.
Great. Now my shortlist for sure.
Okay, good.
Which is your favorite working app?
Definitely has to be Slack for me at the moment. Again, because of just the whole COVID situation this year, it has been really invaluable to use in the company, just to contact people, see how they're feeling, get instant messaging. So definitely Slack this year.
Who would you say is your reference leader, and why, and what you learned from him or her?
Okay, so definitely my reference leader would actually be a technology leader. It was a CTO that I worked with previously in another company. And he was definitely a reference leader because for me, he just epitomizes everything that a CTO should be. He was visionary. He was strategic. Obviously, he understood the whole tech landscape, but he was really able to connect business outcomes with technology. And it was really how he treated people. He was a role model. He treated people with respect and he had fun. You know, he really always had fun. And his name is Giuseppe Madonna. And we worked together for over a year, a couple of years ago. But he's definitely someone that I've walked away with now an impression. And now when I see CTOs, I really have the image of Giuseppe and then matching the CTO to see what skills need to be developed. He's an amazing leader, amazing.
Which would you say is the number one skill to become a successful leader in tech?
I definitely think strategic visionary, strategic thinking skills. For me, the technology leader is someone that can really bring together business outcomes with technology. So really having those skills for me are really important.
Great. And what do you like most of being a leader in tech yourself, even if it's not in the technical area, but from the people and human resources area?
Definitely being able to work in an agile environment. So again, all the companies I've worked in before have really worked in an agile way. So working in an agile way, but also I just love working with technology. I love technology, love working with tech teams. I just think they're so amazing and really just creating something together. So really within that type of environment, I just love it.
Great. Which is the biggest challenge you have faced as a leader?
Definitely inheriting more junior teams, but working with C-levels that have really high expectations. So, the C-level have very high expectation, but then I've gone in and I've discovered that I've got a very, very junior team. So trying to kind of manage the expectations, especially in the companies I've worked in, they've been very, very fast, very dynamic and very high performing. So really trying to achieve the expectations of the leaders, but also trying to help and support my team to help them along the journey to deliver results as well. That's been really challenging.
Okay, and which is the biggest takeaway you got from that experience?
To manage the expectations of the C-level as early as possible, really to have that discussion of what their expectations are and what I can deliver with the team that I have, and manage the expectations as early as possible.
Great. And finally, the one and only single tip you would give to aspiring CTOs?
Definitely get to know, so obviously get to know the business that you're working in, get to understand what are the business outcomes, what are the responsibilities, really understand the environment that you're working in. I mean, I know tech leaders and I know they're passionate about tech, and I know a lot of coders, they just love to code all the time. But it's just important to understand the environment that you're in and the connection that technology has from a holistic perspective. So really taking a step back and seeing it more from a holistic perspective, I think that's important.
Great, thank you. So a final question in your expertise area, which is really building great cultures and really high-performing teams in tech. So my question is, how would you start to build a great culture in a team?
So the first thing to understand is, what is a culture? I really start at the basic building blocks. What is culture? And culture is the behavior of the organization. And like you and I, we have a personality. The personality is the culture of the organization. And it's important to understand, how do you want your culture to be viewed? So how do you want your company to be viewed by others? So really take the time to make a conscious effort on what is the behavior and what is the personality of the organization, and then take time to build the foundations. And the foundations of building a great culture are values, and values to you and I are beliefs and assumptions. So really establishing what are the values in the organization, and then connecting those values to the mission of the company, the vision of the company, and then bringing that together to create the culture of the organization. So if you really want to start building a great culture, start with the basics, and then you start to look at other things like leadership and management, and then obviously all the other processes that go with that. But really start and be conscious, really take the time at the beginning to define your culture, because if you do not define your culture at the beginning, then other people will do it for you. So it's important as a leader to take those steps at the beginning.
Great, thank you so much. Great tip to start building the kind of environment you want to have in a team as a leader, right? So Thank you so much for your time, Michelle.
No problem, my pleasure as always. Really happy to help. Thank you. Thanks. Take care.